In the realm of online dating, Tinder reigns supreme, a swiping paradise where love, or so it seems, is just a tap away. But beneath the veneer of carefully curated profiles and fleeting connections, a darker reality lurks. A world where the swipe of a finger can open the door to unimaginable horrors. Join me now as I unveil 3 tales of terror, spun from the twisted threads of Tinder encounters gone awry. Prepare to descend into a chilling abyss where the pursuit of love is twisted into a macabre dance with the forces of darkness. Story number 1. The first time I used Tinder was in 2015 during winter break. Back home from college and with no girlfriend or much going on, I decided to give the app a try. It was a Thursday night, around 8 or 9 p.m., peak activity for the app. I set up my profile with 4 flattering photos and a simple bio about being 6 feet tall, playing hockey at Penn State, and loving to work out. Despite swiping right for almost everyone, I didn't get any matches at first, which hit my self-esteem hard. Just when I was about to delete the app, I finally got a match with a gorgeous girl from Syracuse University. We exchanged messages, and things seemed to go well. However, when I arrived at the address she provided, things took a creepy turn. I noticed 2 cars in the driveway, and when I approached the back of the house, someone appeared to be watching me through a window. The situation escalated when I realized the person was using a fake phone number, and I heard a ringtone from behind the glass door. I left immediately, received disturbing messages, and blocked the fake number. Months later, I decided to use Tinder again, casually. One night, I matched with Michelle, a 23-year-old blonde who initiated the conversation. We planned to meet at a small park near her house. I arrived early and waited until exactly 10 p.m. to text her. Strangely, she stopped responding. And when she finally messaged, she asked me to come into the bathroom for a surprise. Feeling uneasy, I looked up and saw half a person's face peering out from the bathroom. Panicking, I left quietly, and as I ran back to my car, I felt the constant fear of being chased. And when I glanced back, I saw a grown man emerging from the trees, running towards my car. I sped away, deeply affected by the experience. Reflecting on these incidents, I decided to delete my Tinder account and app. I shared the ordeal with my older brother and thankfully found a girlfriend, making me grateful to leave the app behind. Story number 2. In the bustling heart of New York City, amidst the towering skyscrapers and the ceaseless hum of urban life, a young woman named Emily found herself entangled in a chilling Tinder nightmare. Her pursuit of love and connection through the popular dating app took a dark and terrifying turn, leading her down a path of horror that blurred the lines between reality and the digital realm. Emily, a successful marketing executive with a vibrant social life, found herself yearning for a deeper connection. A love that transcended the superficial swipes and fleeting conversations of Tinder. She hoped that the app could be a gateway to something more meaningful, a chance to find someone who would truly understand and appreciate her. One evening, as she swiped through a sea of profiles, one particular match caught her eye. The profile picture featured a handsome man with a warm smile and kind eyes, his profile simply stating, "Seeking genuine connections." Emily felt an instant spark of interest, a sense that this man could be different from the rest. Without hesitation, she swiped right, and within moments, a message popped up on her screen. It was from the man in the profile picture, introducing himself as David. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, their shared interests and intellectual compatibility creating an instant bond. As their virtual connection deepened, Emily found herself drawn to David's charm, his wit, and his genuine interest in getting to know her. They talked for hours each night, their conversations ranging from lighthearted banter to deep philosophical discussions. After a week of virtual connection, David suggested meeting in person. Emily, hesitant at first, eventually agreed, her excitement outweighing her initial reservations. She had never experienced such a strong connection with someone online, and she was eager to see if the spark would translate into the real world. The meeting was set for a cozy bookstore in the heart of Greenwich Village, a place where Emily spent many hours browsing the shelves and immersing herself in the world of literature. As she approached the bookstore, she spotted David waiting outside, looking even more handsome than his profile picture suggested. Their in-person connection was even stronger than their online one. They talked for hours, their conversations seamlessly picking up where they left off online. Emily felt a sense of comfort and familiarity with David, as if she had known him for years. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the streets of Greenwich Village, David suggested continuing their conversation at his apartment nearby. Emily, feeling a sense of trust and connection with him, agreed. They arrived at David's fifth-floor apartment, a charming one-bedroom nestled in a quiet neighborhood. The apartment was tastefully decorated, with books lining the shelves and a cozy fireplace in the living room. As they settled into the living room, David's demeanor shifted. His warm smile faded, replaced by a cold and calculating expression. His eyes, once filled with kindness, now burned with an unsettling intensity. Emily, sensing the change, felt a chill run down her spine. She tried to change the subject, hoping to steer the conversation back to their earlier lighthearted banter, but David was insistent on discussing darker themes. He spoke of his fascination with the occult, his belief in supernatural forces, and his obsession with controlling others. His words were laced with disturbing undertones, sending shivers down Emily's spine. Suddenly, David stood up abruptly, his eyes glowing with an unnatural light. He grabbed Emily's arm, his grip tightening with an alarming intensity. Emily struggled to break free, but his grip was like iron. "You're mine now," David growled, his voice a chilling whisper. "You'll be part of my grand experiment." Emily felt a surge of fear, a primal instinct telling her that she was in grave danger. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. She was trapped in a real-life nightmare, her reality twisted and distorted by her malevolent Tinder date. As David dragged Emily towards his bedroom, she realized that she was not dealing with a man, but with something far more sinister. She had fallen prey to a creature that lurked in the shadows of the digital realm, a predator that used the guise of love to lure unsuspecting victims into its dark web. Emily's fate hung in the balance, her hope for love and connection shattered by a terrifying encounter that blurred the lines between reality and the digital abyss. David threw Emily on the bed and mounted her. Thinking quickly, Emily gouged David's eyes. David let out a scream that could be heard on the first floor of the apartment building. Emily sprinted for the door and started to open the door. She could hear David laughing in the bedroom and shouting, "Come back! This will only hurt a lot!" Emily was able to open the door and escape the clutches of David's grand experiment. Emily quickly called 911 and reported the incident, but wanted to remain anonymous. She blocked David on Tinder and never heard from him again. Story number 3. In the heart of Los Angeles, where dreams and nightmares collide, a young aspiring actress named Sarah found herself entangled in a chilling Tinder nightmare. Her pursuit of love and connection through the popular dating app took a dark and terrifying turn, leading her down a path of horror that blurred the lines between reality and the digital realm. Sarah, a talented and vivacious young woman with a heart full of hope and a passion for her craft, had always dreamed of finding love and success in the City of Angels. She believed that Tinder could be a gateway to something more meaningful, a chance to find someone who would truly understand and support her dreams. One evening, as she swiped through a sea of profiles, a particular match caught her eye. The profile picture featured a handsome man with a charming smile and piercing blue eyes, his profile simply stating, "Seeking a fellow stargazer." Sarah felt an instant spark of interest, a sense that this man could be different from the rest. Without hesitation, she swiped right, and within moments a message popped up on her screen. It was from the man in the profile picture, introducing himself as Mark. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, their shared interests and love for movies and astronomy creating an instant bond. As their virtual connection deepened, Sarah found herself drawn to Mark's intelligence, his humor, and his genuine interest in her dreams. They talked for hours each night, their conversations ranging from lighthearted banter to deep philosophical discussions about life and the universe. After a week of virtual connection, Mark suggested meeting in person to watch the Perseid meteor shower at a secluded spot he knew in the desert outside the city. Sarah, excited by the prospect of sharing a romantic moment under the stars, agreed. The drive to the desert was a scenic one, the city lights fading into a vast expanse of darkness dotted with twinkling stars. Sarah felt a sense of anticipation and excitement as she and Mark approached the secluded spot, a clearing surrounded by towering rocks. and a breathtaking view of the night sky. As they set up their blankets and settled down to watch the meteor shower, Sarah felt a strange chill run down her spine. The surroundings, once serene and tranquil, now seemed to exude an unsettling energy. Mark, noticing her unease, tried to reassure her, jokingly suggesting that perhaps it was the presence of extraterrestrial life forms that was making her feel uneasy. Sarah, trying to laugh it off, dismissed her fears, attributing them to the thrill of the moment and the anticipation of the meteor shower. As the first meteors streaked across the sky, a sense of awe washed over Sarah. The beauty of the celestial spectacle was undeniable, and she found herself momentarily forgetting her earlier apprehensions. However, as the night deepened and the meteor shower reached its peak, Mark's demeanor shifted. His once warm and engaging personality turned cold and distant, his eyes taking on an unnatural gleam. Sarah, noticing the change, felt a knot of fear tighten in her stomach. She tried to regain her composure, hoping that Mark's behavior was simply a mood swing, but her instincts were screaming at her to run. Suddenly, Mark grabbed Sarah's arm, his grip sending a jolt of ice through her body. He looked into her eyes, his gaze piercing and intense, and spoke in a voice that sent shivers down her spine. "You're not real," he whispered, his voice barely audible above the howling wind. "You're just a figment of my imagination, a creation of my loneliness." Sarah's heart pounded in her chest as she tried to break free from Mark's grip, but his strength was overwhelming. She screamed for help, but her voice was swallowed up by the vast emptiness of the desert. Mark dragged Sarah towards the edge of the cliff, his eyes burning with an unsettling madness. Sarah, paralyzed by fear, could only watch in horror as her life flashed before her eyes. Just as Mark was about to push Sarah over the edge, a streak of light illuminated the sky, a meteor larger and brighter than any they had seen before. The meteor exploded in a blinding flash, sending a shockwave through the clearing. In the chaos that followed, Sarah managed to break free from Mark's grip. She scrambled to her feet and ran for her life, her heart pounding in her chest as she stumbled through the darkness. She looked back to see Mark standing at the edge of the cliff, his body engulfed in flames. The meteor had struck him, a fiery end to his monstrous intentions. Sarah ran until she could no longer run, her lungs burning and her legs aching. She collapsed on the ground, her body trembling from fear and exhaustion. As the first rays of dawn broke through the darkness, Sarah slowly regained her composure. She had survived a terrifying encounter with a man who had just lost his grip on reality, a man who had nearly taken her life. The Tinder nightmare had left an indelible mark on her. Now, we want to hear from you. Drop your comments below and let us know which story left the most lasting impression on you.